I'm Kelly,
And I'm Randy.
and in this week's episode, we're going coastal to Lincoln City and Newport, Oregon.
If you haven't already, please subscribe and take the time to like the video. We'll be right back.
So on this trip, we headed west. We headed west on Highway 22 over to Lincoln City, Oregon, and it was about an hour and 40 minutes, and it was a great trip.
Yep, nice, quick, dirty, no big hills, easy traffic.
And Highway 101 is actually parallel to the Pacific Ocean, and it is a long stretch of road in Lincoln City. So it's a lot of fun to just kind of watch all the shops as you go along.
All the town is like basically right on 101, and it's like a 9-10 mile strip, so during the weekend traffic gets pretty backed up.
Yep, and it got a little busy for us too. So the weather was fabulous. It was 62 degrees and sunshiny.
So we ended up booking a space at Premier RV Resorts, which is a company that has multiple locations in Oregon and Washington and California. So they had their stuff together. They had the clubhouse was nice. They have organized social events. They had social distancing happy hour, and Terry Robb, a blues musician, played since the weather was great, and it was just the best RV resort we've stayed at. Super clean, nice spaces.
The thing that makes me very, very sad, since we've been RVing since June, is that not one place yet that we've stayed at has any of the pool facilities open, any of the hot tubs. So this is Oregon, but I know that they would be fabulous if they were open.
So my parents actually live in the area, and it was nice to have them over for a little bit, and we did happy hour with some champagne, and then they took off and we did a short little trip to Taft.
And Taft is one of about 6 historic areas in the Lincoln City. So it was very close nearby, and in that little area it has some nice shops, and it has one of the famous restaurants called Moe's Seafood Restaurant.
Moe's.
It's been around since about 1946. There's almost a dozen of them. So Moe's is headquartered in Newport, Oregon, and they are known for their New England clam chowder.
So I don't know if it's really clam chowder, because I think there's a bunch of different fish and stuff in there. So
yeah, they combined with another company that had an oyster farm, and so this company actually makes about 500,000 pounds of fresh chowder a year, and every day they make every week they make a ton of bacon and 1 ton of potatoes per day. So it is pretty interesting.
it's definitely iconic to the Central Oregon coast location. There's several locations in Newport. There's the one location that we went to in Taft, which is actually Lincoln City. There's other locations throughout the Oregon coast, as well as the Portland airport even has Moe's for travelers because it's so iconic to Oregon.
So Saturday morning we had a quick breakfast and we gathered everything up because checkout was early.
11 a.m. checkout, which is the earliest that we've experienced. It was fine. I guess hotels normally 11.
So then we went and we just parked somewhere. We were on the south side of Lincoln City, and there was an area that I wanted to go to. So we found a spot.
We were lucky that all the movie theaters are closed, so the movie theater parking lot was close to your destination.
My magical shop.
Magical shop, which is like someplace that I have a hard time driving past without having to stop to make Mrs. Cole happy.
Oh, yes, it's like Mrs. Santa Cole. So there is an iconic Christmas shop in Lincoln City that is open year-round, and it carries the most beautiful things from European glass ornaments to German nutcrackers to figurines, Christmas cards and stationery, Halloween. I mean, it's just packed with thousands and thousands of ornaments. So of course, you have to walk in and just take it all in. And this time I was able to buy my first ornament, and I was super, super excited because guess what I got? I got a little RV ornament. So welcome to the RV world.
Super cute. But it's, yeah, pretty much almost Christmas ornaments exclusively. But they have, any theme of ornament that you're looking for.
Wizard of Oz.
Any ornaments that are made all over the world. Kelly's Polish, so I have gotten her ornaments that are hand-blown glass ornaments that are made in Poland, that they have there. Not cheap, but just
jingle nogs.
Jingle nogs.
And they have a tiny little.
You can always tell if it's a jingle nog ornament because it's hand-blown glass and it has a little bell on it. And they're all. I'm really partial to the hand-blown glass ornaments. I would love to have a tree with just those, but they're so expensive.
I'm afraid they would break.
They're pretty durable. Finished up at the Christmas shop and we headed south to Newport. We passed through Glen Eden Beach and through Depot Bay, which is known as the smallest harbor on the west coast, maybe. And a big, huge, whale-watching city and some nice shops there, and made our way to Newport and found a place to park the RV, actually down on the main street right in the port of Newport, and did some shopping.
Yeah, the bayfront's beautiful. Who doesn't want to park there and then walk that whole bayfront back and forth and listen to the sea lions, go on the docks and watch them selling and cleaning the fish? It's quite an experience. It stinks a little bit, but it's a great experience. We love to do it.
Do have some seafood manufacturing there. Lots of big sea lions. You can buy seafood right out of the boat.
And we did have some mows there, so we did go into a couple mows, and they were an hour and a half wait, so we're able to do some takeout and just go sit by the bayfront and enjoy.
Definitely the wait was long at all of the restaurants because of the reduced capacity. But we did, when we walked in, we saw a lot of people sitting on the benches eating. Come to the realization that the hot tip was to just order takeout, and it was like 5 minutes.
Oh, who's not doing that right now? Takeout.
Yep. And so we got our mows and let's see. So candy shop.
Yep. Back into that little, boutique shopping, looking local. Just finding one-off things, and yeah, found a couple great shops.
What about 101 Local?
Hey, Pete.
Shout out to Pete, the owner of 101 Local. Does all organic ink, screen printed shirts, hats. He's
beautiful.
got just some great T-shirts, great graphic designs.
This is cork, and it will float.
Float. Yeah. So if you're in the water and your hat falls off, it will float. But just a wonderful shop, and just really, exactly what we're always looking for when we are shopping, locally, to find, someplace that's locally owned, locally operated, locally made.
So local, or excuse me, 101 local, specifically
Pacific.
Pacific.
Yep. So we actually got some
Swag.
swag. He hooked us up with some swag, and
We
are we gonna
have
give it
some,
away?
we have some hats that are ready to start kind of sharing with you guys when I start getting some numbers in there. So you'll be on the lookout for some things, okay? So we didn't want to go home. We were like, no, we're in Newport. It's too nice over here. And so we looked at each other and we're like, there's still one more place we can go. We can go to that brewery that we heard about from 101 Local.
Yep. Wolf Tree.
Wolf Tree Brewery.
And so it's in a new area that we were unfamiliar with, south of Newport, across the bridge on the other side of the bay. And apparently they have been in business quite some time, a little bit different business model. They actually have been manufacturing, producing, and selling beer straight out of their manufacturing facility, but didn't have a brick and mortar storefront.
And it's in Seal Rock. That's what I was looking for. So
That's where their manufacturing facility is.
Okay.
Yeah, the brewery is in Newport.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just kind of interesting that they followed a little bit different business model. Most of the places, have a restaurant slash, tasting room, tap room. These guys kind of did it the opposite way and waited until they had established a well-established business and actually a well-established name, clientele, and rapport, and then open. Obviously, you open up a storefront after that, and you get people flooding in. So.
Yeah, it was great. We had great quesadillas, and I had another cider.
Yep.
And what did you have?
I can't remember. I had a beer.
Yeah, it was great. A lot of good choices. Just great marketing. From the signage to their building, just even outside to give you a sense of, just hanging out with your friends and your family. So it was a lot of fun.
Definitely a lot of fun. Nice to extend our Sunday for a little bit longer since the weather was so great.
It was so hard to go home, but we ended up getting home about 6:30. So we packed it in just that one nighter. So that was our episode of Going Coastal. So we hope that you enjoyed this episode. So if you haven't liked or subscribed and followed our channel, we definitely invite you over, because when we reach 200, we've got some swag that we're going to share with you guys. So come on over from Instagram, come over to our channel, and follow Wander Till Lost.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and we will see you on the road.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good week. Bye.